Okay, part two. This is the funner part, I guess. This is where you pretty much take all your renders from 3ds Max or Modo or whatever you used, and you put it in a program like Nuke, and you create something awesome. So here's what the final composite look like. Just let this buffer in. I'll just say that I use green screen or blue screen actually while making this. That's how these characters are here. The mazes were rendered in 3ds Max. I just rendered one frame, and the trees were from Google Images. And this grass is from it's from the actual Maze Runner movie. I just copied a quick frame from it and pasted it on here. And so I'm going to show you guys how I did that with a complete breakdown. Here's the no tree. This is basically everything composited together, and this right here is the final image where this viewer is connected. That's the final node, and that's where the image is projected. Okay, so here it is playing. Okay, my computer is acting up. I'll just pause that. Okay, so first of all, I know you guys can see these little ratio bars. I'm going to turn those off, and it's going to look a little bit ugly. This is where it is basically, and this is what I have. I know you guys are thinking, why is there a thing on here? I pretty much moved the maze down a little bit because it didn't look right to me. So let's go from the beginning. Okay, so I left the scene with my actors. I left the movie set with footage of my actors, and I'll show you guys that right now. If I press 1, here's what I got. That was a boom mic operator, but we ended up not using the sound anyway because it turned out horrible. So the green screen, the blue screen actually was hung up on a tree with tape, and it was sagging down, which creates a horrible effect, but it still kind of worked out. And we had these little tracking markers up here because we were originally going to use a moving camera, but we never got to that point. So and if you guys notice, I don't know if you guys can see, but there are some blue marks on my actor's socks, and that created problems. So I'll show you guys how I pretty much defeated that obstacle. So we had this footage of my actors running in, and you guys can see that his head kind of peeks up from the blue screen right here. So that was a challenge as well, because I had to mask out every frame where his head was not in the blue screen. Sorry. So I had that footage, and I applied a prime matte node, which takes out the green screen, and then I time offsetted it so that it starts earlier. And then here's where I put his socks back, because if you look at this footage, his socks are pretty much transparent. So here's how I tackled that. I got a still frame of his socks. I didn't get a still frame. I time offsetted it the same way I did it before. Then I got a roto, and here's the alpha channel. It's basically his socks, and then I animated that to move. Hold on, let me get out of alpha channel, and that's his socks right there. So I made that roto follow his socks throughout the whole thing, and they're keyframed. That's why you can see it kind of peeks out here. That's just error from me. I had to keyframe each individual roto, and I think it has keyframes on it, if I'm not sure. Yeah, so here it is. If you see that red cage on it, that's basically the animation of the sock. So I had it follow his legs throughout the whole shot, and that's how I got his socks back in, because his socks were kind of blue when we were recording, and I didn't notice that until after. So that's that. So I basically maxed out everything. So I originally had this. The blue screen was wiped out, and then I had to mask using this roto node. I masked them out as they moved along, and when this head came above the green screen, I just put a little roto here, and I applied a blur node. So now they're pretty much free, and I can put them in any footage that I want to. And I applied a grade, made them lighten up, and then another grade to add some red. Then I pre-multiplied it, and then I blurred it, and then I scaled them down, and that's why they got small. This transform node, you can basically take your actors and make them as big or small as you want, and then you can put them in any type of footage. Let me undo that. Okay. So I'll show you guys the grading process. If I take these two and disable them, you can see before and after. So I just added a bit more reddish color. Here I just multiplied it down and changed the white point. So I made that lighter. And then for this grade, I think I added red. So I increased the red channel, and I kept the green channel a little bit, and I decreased the blue channel. And that gave him a kind of tint, a reddish tint. That was nice, and it kind of fit with the image that I had. So, yeah. Okay, so that's the actors, and I had it organized in these backdrop nodes. So if I were to disable that, that's what you get. Okay, so that's my actors. That's how I took the green screen, blue screen footage, and I converted it into a smaller image and applied some color corrections. Here's the maze. The maze is just a still frame, pretty much simple. I added a grade node. This is what it looked like when I rendered it from max, and then I added a grade node where I just took down the reds and the blue and the greens, and then that's what I got. And then I pre-multiplied that, and I added a transform. It was up here at first, and then let me check this down. It was up here at first, and then I added a transform, and I brought it down a little bit. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys something. If we go to the final image, let it load. So you guys can see that if I disable this maze right here, you guys can see what we have. It's just the back maze and these trees and this grass and then my actors. Everything beyond that is just sky. So I have the sky. That was the first thing I had. I think it's right here. Yeah, this is the sky. I added a transform node and I pretty much moved it around, and this is basically the maze. And now if I were to disable the pie map, sorry, let me disable this. You have the green screen, the blue screen, and it's moving along with them. So, and then I had to key them out and then put them on top of this grass, and then they kind of seamlessly went with the grass. It looked pretty nice. So yeah, let me disable that, put that back in. And for the grass, it's pretty simple. I just put a grass right there, and then I painted some additional spots with the roto paint node, and I transformed it to fit. For the tree, I had a PNG image. Why isn't it loading? Okay, I guess I should just do it right there. I had a PNG image, and I merged it on top of the this back maze right here. That's why you see the merge node. So B represents everything beyond there, and then C represents everything beyond there. And then I added a transform node, and I and A is what you're going to put on top of that. So I put the tree on top of the back maze, and then I put all that, and I put the grass on top of this. This is what merge basically does. It puts stuff on top of each other. So I had this image, I pre-multiplied it to remove the edges right here, and then I think I transformed it. It was originally pretty small, made it a bit bigger, and yeah, that's what I got. And then I go one step further down. We got the grass, then we got the sky, then we got the actors, then we got the maze, and then we got the bars. And then I made the camera shift back a little bit. You guys can see that it's moving back. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I just basically for that I just added a transform. I changed the scale over time. So at first it's 1.05 and I made it smaller. So that kind of gives the illusion that the camera's moving back even though it's really not. So yeah, that's how I composited this. It was the first scene. It was my favorite scene. It was fun to make, and yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. Thanks for watching.